Hi everyone. Now we are going to look into the life of Sundaramurthy Nayanmar. He's the last of the four saints that we have been talking about. Now there are a few interesting facts about Sundaramurthy Nayanmar. One is that both his parents, father and mother, are a part of the 63 saint list that we just heard about. Also, the one fact that I like about him a lot is he treated Lord Shiva as his friend. So when you stand before God and you pray, you kind of request, can I please have this? Can I please have that? But Sundar wasn't like that. He would actually tell God, you know what, I need this, and you better make it happen for me. And Lord Shiva would oblige. And so he had a nice buddy-buddy relationship with Lord Shiva. And it's pretty fascinating. So you see here, that's him in a bronze idol, and that's his wife near him, Paravai Nachiyar. We're going to look into Paravai Nachiyar a little further in the video. And these are the lines that he's most famous for. Pitha, pirai, soodi. Pitha actually means crazy person. So again, this goes back to what I was saying. Why would you call God crazy? It doesn't make sense. And yet, the first word in his verse starts with crazy person. So, what's the story behind that? Now, 8th century, this beautiful town called Tirunavallur, somewhere between Pondicherry over here, above, and Chidambaram over here, a little more inwards, is this town called Tirunavallur. And that's where we have the father, Sadhya Nayanmar, and Iseñaniyar, a couple who lived there, and they gave birth to the son called Nambiyarurar. And of course, our Nambiyarurar is going to become our Sundarar later. And let's see the story of that. But before we go into that, I want to go a little further back, not in time, but by birth. We're going to travel back to Sundarar's previous birth, before he became Nambiyarurar. And there is a legend about him. So he was supposed to be one of the attendants of Lord Shiva, helping him out in his different tasks. And one day when he was helping him out, he happened to see the two attendants of Goddess Parvati, and he liked them. And he thought, I want to marry these ladies, the two ladies. And Lord Shiva gets wind of this, and he is a person, he wants to make his attendant's wish come true. Rather than saying attendant, it would be a friend, right? He wanted to make his friend's wish come true. And so he calls Sundarar. He was known as Alala Sundarar then. And he calls Alala Sundarar and tell him, I know you have this wish. We have to make this happen. So go back to earth. You need to be reborn on earth as Nambiyarurar. And these two young ladies will also be there. And so have your wish, marry them, be happy, and then come back. Lord Shiva had another thought also, and he told him, there are a lot of saints on earth who are constantly, singing my praise, but I want someone to sing their praise. So can you please do that while you're, on earth? And Sundarar was happy to do what Shiva wanted, but at the same time, he had a small thought. He told Lord Shiva, I'm going to forget everything when I'm born on earth. I want you to promise me that you will bring me back here. And so Shiva did promise him that, yes, I will bring you back here with me. And so now let's go back to when Nambiyarurar is born, he grows up. The king of that kingdom wants to have Nambiyarurar as his son, like he adopts Nambiyarurar. And Nambiyarurar lives a lavish life, right? He's the adopted son of the king, but he's very intelligent, smart, and humble. And one day, the king decides to have him married. He finds a beautiful bride for him. He sets a date for the marriage procession. Everyone comes. The groom is ready, the bride is ready. And the moment when they are going to exchange the wedding vows, that's the moment the entire hall goes silent with a single man's shout of stop the wedding. And everyone turns around to see who stops the wedding right at this moment. And they see this old man out there just having his hand up like that, saying, "Stop the wedding. This groom, he belongs to me. He is my slave." And all the village elders just get up. And our Nambi is totally upset. His wedding just got ruined right now. "What are you talking about? How can someone be someone's slave?" And he says, "Yes, look at this. This is the inscription." And in the inscription, it is written, "Aruran," who happens to be Nambi's grandfather, "Aruran, I state that all my sons and my sons' sons will serve as servants to this old man." And in anger, Nambi just, tears off the inscription and says, "You're just blabbering. I don't believe all this." And the village elders tell this old man to get out of here. But the old man stands his ground over there and he says, "Now that you've done this, you have to come with me to the temple and you have to check the original for yourself." And so he was not letting go. The people wanted him cleared off, obviously, but he was just not letting go. And so all the village elders had to listen to him. He said, "Okay, let's go." And so there was a procession. Nambi, a very depressed, upset Nambi, and the other village elders follow this old man all the way to the temple, nearby temple. And this old man goes in and gets an inscription and he hands it out to them. And he shows them, "See, I have the original over here." And the village elders look at it, they read it, and they can't find anything wrong in it. And they look at Nambi with sad eyes and tell him, "Looks like you don't have a choice. Your grandfather did this. He signed you off as a servant to this old man." And Nambi is lost all hope in life. He's like, "What? I had such a wonderful life going on till now, and now I have to be someone's servant?" And they look at the old man to see what he's doing because he was just walking away from the group. He walks away from the group and he goes into the inner sanctum of where the Lord Shiva is and just disappears. The village elders are stunned. Our Nambi is stunned. Like, what just happened now? This old man's gone, disappeared. And that's when they all realize that this has to be Lord Shiva, right? Lord Shiva just disappeared into the temple. And so the temple is called Arulthurai temple. And now our Nambi hears the words of Lord Shiva telling him, "Remember, I have come to keep my promise, Sundarar." And Nambi now remembers. And Sundarar is reborn. And he says, "Okay, I need to start my songs now. How do I start?" And Shiva reminds him, "Didn't you call me Pitha right there with your friends over there? You call me a madman. Start your verses with Pitha." And with all clarity, Sundarar starts singing Pitha, pirai, soodi. And thus began his verses, 10 of them. And his journey into life actually began as Sundarar. So as Sundaramurthy Nayanmar, he went to different temples all around Tamil Nadu. And not only did he sing the praises of Lord Shiva, the most important thing that Sundarar did was he sung the praises of all the Shiva saints who prayed to Lord Shiva till now. And along the way in his travels, he happened to meet those two attendants that we spoke about in the last birth, Paravai and Sangali Nachiyar. And he fulfilled his wish to marry these two ladies and he lived a life. And at one point of time, there is a story behind how he was beckoned to Mount Kailash, but that's for another recording. However, know that he reached Lord Shiva. He reached his best friend. And whatever he sang, his verses, his hymns, all of them have been brought together as a compilation and they form the 7th volume of Tirumurai. And so today we know Sundaramurthy Nayanmar for all the verses in the 7th volume of Tirumurai. And that's the fascinating story of one of Lord Shiva's best friends. Thank you.